TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcasting to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, Major General Hossein Salami, declared that the Iranian proxy in Lebanon, Hezbollah, obtained the necessary capabilities to defeat and destroy Israel in any possible war, while claiming that the Shi'ite militia could do so without any foreign assistance. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani reiterates his country's warning to the European parties of the 2015 multilateral nuclear agreement that unless the Islamic Republic's 60-day deadline is met, regardless of ongoing negotiations with France, Britain, and Germany, the Ayatollah regime will give its green light to commence its previously declared third retaliatory phase of suspending its obligations under the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. After Germany rejected an American request to join a US-led coalition to secure maritime navigation in the Strait of Hormuz, Chancellor Angela Merkel reveals that discussions on establishing a European-led naval mission in the strategic strait would be discussed at an informal meeting of EU foreign and defense ministers that is scheduled to be held later this month in the Finnish capital Helsinki. Commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, Major General Hossein Salami, declared that the Iranian proxy in Lebanon, Hezbollah, attained the necessary capabilities to defeat and destroy Israel in any possible war, while claiming that the Shi'ite militia could do so without any foreign assistance. Speaking at a ceremony in Iran's northwestern city of Urumiyeh, General Salami asserted that despite extensive activities by the United States and its allies to undermine Iran's regional influence, the international community witnessed that these efforts backfired. Consequently, Salami claimed that this US-led policy increased Iran's influence and formed a united front against the Jewish state. As a result, the top IRGC commander underscored that the Lebanese Hezbollah militia had attained significant experience in recent years as part of its active role in Tehran's regional proxy wars, which subsequently increased its military capacity to the point that it could wipe the Zionist regime off the map in any possible war by itself. The comments by General Salami came just several months after his predecessor, former RGC commander Major General Ali Jafari, boasted that the Iranian-backed Hezbollah organization had acquired highly sophisticated capabilities, including missiles with a range that can reach any point across Israel's territory. General Jafari, during a speech he made in March of this year, also praised the Islamist organizations in the Gaza Strip, which he claimed are a unique accomplishment of Iran's Islamic Revolution. Meanwhile, in Tehran, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani reiterated his country's warning toward the European parties of the 2015 multilateral nuclear agreement that unless the Islamic Republic's 60-day ultimatum is met, regardless of ongoing negotiations with France, Britain, and Germany, the Ayatollah regime will give its green light to commence its previously declared third retaliatory phase of suspending its obligations under the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action.
ما مذاکراتمون رو ادامه میدیم، ولی اگر در پایان 60 روز مذاکرات ما نتیجه نداد، حتما مرحله سوم را هم آغاز خواهیم کرد. باز هم بعد از مرحله سوم 60 روز زمان میدیم برای اینکه باز هم مذاکره بکنیم به یک راه حل منطقی و درست و متوازن. اون حرف و شعار ما اینه، تعهد در برابر تعهد.
According to the spokesman of Iran's Atomic Energy Organization, the expected suspension of Iran's nuclear commitments would effectively mean surpassing a 130-ton limit on heavy water production, as well as a 300-kilogram cap of its enriched uranium stockpile. During his weekly cabinet meeting, President Rouhani also underscored that the Islamic Republic would be willing to revisit its decision only if all conditions are appropriate, while further underscoring that cooperation with the world and negotiations with other parties is only possible if Tehran's objectives are attainable.
اگر همه شرایط مناسبی بود، ما همیشه دنبال تعامل با دنیا هستیم و دنبال مذاکره با طرف مقابل هستیم برای اهداف خودمون.
With regard to growing tensions surrounding the strategic Strait of Hormuz, President Rouhani rejected efforts by Western powers to establish two separate naval coalitions for the purpose of assuring freedom of maritime navigation.
برای امنیت منطقه خلیج فارس، تنگه هرمز، دریای عمان نیازی به نیروهای خارجی و قدرت‌های خارجی نداریم.
The Iranian leader also responded to last week's reported comment by Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz, who underscored in a meeting of the Israeli Parliament's temporary Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee that it would be in Jerusalem's interest to offer additional assistance to the US-led coalition in securing the Persian Gulf. Rouhani ridiculed this statement by insinuating an unspecified threat by saying, quote, "The Israelis had better ensure the security of where they are." It is important to know that while Israel actively assists the United States and other Western and regional allies and partners in the field of intelligence, it has yet to officially confirm any additional involvement in the emerging US-led coalition. Meanwhile, in Berlin, German Chancellor Angela Merkel revealed that discussions of establishing a European-led naval mission in the Strait of Hormuz would be discussed at an informal meeting of EU foreign and defense ministers that is scheduled to be held later this month in the Finnish capital Helsinki. During a press conference after meeting with Lithuanian President Gitanas Nausėda, the German Chancellor underscored that discussions have not yet taken place in all relevant forums, which could ultimately realize some formation of a naval peacekeeping task force. Merkel's comments were made after she rejected a request from Washington to join a US-led coalition. Now to Israel's northern neighbor Syria, where the Syrian army alongside Iranian-backed militias has made significant gains in the past 48 hours in the country's last rebel-held northwestern region of Idlib. Syria's state news agency Sana released footage that purported to show government forces moving into the town of Al-Hubeit and a small village near Khan el-Sheikhoun. According to the London-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, the capture of Al-Hubeit represents the most significant advance the Syrian army has made in Idlib province since the start of its offensive some 3 months ago. A media unit of the Iranian proxy Hezbollah, which fights alongside regime forces of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, described the town as the gateway to the southern countryside of Idlib and to the main Damascus-Aleppo highway and to the city of Khan Sheikhoun. It is important to note that the northwestern Idlib region is the last major stronghold of so-called rebels, which almost exclusively include Islamist terror groups, including the powerful jihadist group, the Al-Qaeda-linked Tahrir al-Sham, as well as Turkish-backed Islamist factions. Thank you for watching us. You can also watch us at TV7israelnews.com or at TV7.fi. For any comments, please send your emails to israelnews@tv7.fi. For more updates from Israel and its region, please join our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel at TV7 Israel News. We would like to take also this opportunity to thank all of our supporters, as your financial donations as well as prayers are the reason TV7 Israel News is possible. I would like also to encourage you to continue to pray for the peace of Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. Jonathan Hassan, have a Erev Tov. We will see you again tomorrow at the same time.